ESPN NFL reporter Mike Wells tweeted after the game that Adam Vinatieri to Eric Ebron said, "That was one of the top 25 catches I've seen." And Ebron responded, "That means a lot since you've been playing for like 85 years. Not pictured very much in this highlight was Jacoby Brissett, who was absolutely fantastic. And Coach, you seem to think that he's playing with moxie because of something that the organization did weeks ago.
Well, the thing that was so impressive, because we've talked about it, this organization's done so many right things. And when Luck left, what they did is sat back and said, you know what? No, we got our guy. We have our quarterback, and we're going to prove it to you by extending your contract. Gave him a huge contract. Well, this is what we're seeing right now. So this kid's coming back. He's not looking over his shoulder. All he knows, he's a quarterback for a heck of a football team, and he's playing his tail off right now. And to me, the message from that organization filtered through the entire locker room, and that's why this team's playing the way they are.
Chris Ballard made it very apparent that they weren't going to worry about Andrew Luck retiring. They paid Jacoby Brissett for a lot of reasons. Inside that locker room, Jacoby Brissett was revered as the leader of the locker room. Last year, they were 1-5. The person who called the players-only meeting wasn't the starting quarterback, Andrew Luck. It was Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett has been the vocal leader of that team for the last couple years, something that Andrew Luck was not great at. For as incredible as Andrew Luck was on a football field, off the field, he didn't have that commanding presence like Jacoby Brissett has. I've been saying it. I yelled into this exact camera a couple weeks ago that this Colts team has all the makings to win the Super Bowl. Incredible offensive line. Their defense is getting healthy and coming together. There was a lot of talk about Deshaun Watson by L not playing great. That's because that defense forced him to not play well. They have everything you could possibly need to win games, which is why it was so devastating to the Colts fans when Luck retired, because they knew Chris Ballard built something special, but Jacoby Brissett has done nothing but show up and show out. From the Wolfpack with Tom Brady, he has composure. He rarely makes mistakes, and that entire team has lifted themselves to the level of Quentin Nelson on that offensive line. I think this Colts team is going to go a long way. Best team in football, maybe in the history of the NFL right now.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about Jacoby Brissett, and justifiably so, but what I've learned about the Colts in the past 2 weeks, and certainly yesterday's, their defensive line wants to be part of the conversation as well. You know, we rave about their offensive line, but that defensive line got more pressure on Deshaun Watson yesterday than he had in the previous 2 weeks. And that was a big story of this game, was this defensive line and sometimes those linebackers coming on some pressure packages and getting home on Watson and making him uncomfortable. It's not just a team built around Jacoby Brissett and an offensive line. And there's a big moment in this game where Jacoby Brissett fumbles a shotgun snap right around his own 10-yard line. And the defense goes right on the field and shuts down the quick change and forces a field goal by Houston. In that moment in the game, that's what won the football game, was when that fumbled snap happened and they forced a field goal.
Gonna win a Super Bowl. Mark it down.
At some point in the next 50 years.
We're so glad you're watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, make sure you subscribe to ESPN Plus. We'll see you there.